Hello, Tweedle Tweedle Tweet. This is Doctor Who. This is actually Geeks Assembled Audioheads, and we're talking about Doctor Who, the Missing Adventures. Actually, this is a non BBC, non Big Finish audio adventure called The Freedom of the Daleks, and it stars Christopher Thomson as the second Doctor. And it's a companion-free episode in two parts. And with me, Jake and Lee are here, and and maybe Tim will pop on. I hope so. I hope he can get his tech resolved. And we're gonna talk about this episode. So, opening thoughts, Jake.
Fabulous. I think Christopher Thompson is amazing as Troughton. I adore him as a impressionist and a person because I've met him now and then, and this whole story is so good. I adore Evil of the Daleks. It's probably one of, if not my favourite Dalek story, and I was so happy when he was doing a sequel to it, and I think it really works. And it is. I don't really like Daleks, but I quite enjoyed them in this story. In a way, they're actually threatening, and there wasn't even that many of them in this story. And that's my initial thoughts of it.
Thanks. And Lee, what's your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts is, why haven't I heard of these audios before? It was just brought to my attention in the past week or two. Starring Christopher Thompson as the second Doctor, sort of channeling Patrick Troughton, really well done. And I've just said before we started doing this, he should do the second Doctor Adventures for Big Finish. Nothing against Fraser Hines, but this was Troughton. As Jake said, I didn't realise it was a sequel to Evil of the Daleks until the human factor was mentioned in the story, and whoa, it's these Daleks. Brilliantly done. It kept me enthralled. I mean, it's only, is it just an hour long? 2 parters, 30 minutes each. When I got to the end of it, I thought I could have done with a bit more on this. I just wanted a little bit more, maybe another half hour. You know, they could have made it into a 4-parter. But I really did enjoy it. I'm not a fan of Daleks on TV.
We know that about you, Lee.
Yeah, because for me, they've been done to death since the 60s, through to the 70s, 80s, through the New Who. They only do Daleks for me properly and threatening and menacing in the audios, be it Big Finish or be it this one. And it works so well. And we get an Emperor Dalek as well. You know, I've always been a fan of the Emperor Dalek, the design of the Emperor Dalek in Evil of the Daleks. Yeah, there. What a great design. I enjoyed it. It flew by, as I say. It was only 60 minutes long, and it kept me listening. So if that's done it, it's done its job well. Over to you, Susan.
Thanks, and I enjoyed this. I really have. I've loved Christopher Thompson. I watched his deepfake the other, his time-space visualizer of his image. There comes Tim. Maybe he's going to stick around. Anyway, so I really enjoyed his. I've heard a few of these on YouTube, and he is really actually quite classy in his productions. I mean, these are full cast audios, and they have lots and lots of dimensions in them, and so it's like, that's really fun. And I listened to it, and the human Dalek connection was quite intense. And so, let's bebop down to Texas to find out your opening thoughts. Texas, please. Come on, Tech, work.
He's definitely having problems today.
Yeah, it's frozen. He's frozen.
Yeah.
We'll get back to him, okay? What are your favorite moments, Lee?
I mean, say the voicing of the Daleks did sound like what they should have sounded like back in the day. But for me, I mean, some of the acting in it, you could tell they were not professional actors. Some of the actors, I'm not saying who, because I'm not like that, but Chris Thomson for me stole it. You know, he convinced me that was Troughton.
Yeah.
And I mean, he also wrote this. He wrote it with Benji Clifford, is it?
Yeah.
Who does the podcasts with Nick Briggs, who voices the Daleks. So we'll go in. Was it 6 degrees of separation here? But yeah, I
6
just like
degrees of mutation.
Mutation. Yeah, I just like the way it flowed. It did flow real smoothly, and it did feel like the proper Troughton 60s serial. It'd be good to dip my toes into some of the other ones. I think has it only been 6 made? Something like that.
There aren't very many, but a few of them are on YouTube. And here's Tim. Can we drop to him?
Can you hear you?
I can hear you. I keep freezing.
Okay, try again. Opening thoughts and your favorite moments.
Honestly, I didn't like it very much.
Oh, really?
Any favorite moments? The story was a bit one note. The characters weren't very deep, and the production lacked the finesse of Big Finish pretty much. I mean, I know that they can't all be great, but I'm just saying. The only thing I did like, I guess, was the actor that played the Doctor. I thought he was fine. The rest of them were a bit amateur, and I don't know. Overall, just it wasn't what I'm used to when it comes to listening to audios.
All right. Any things that you'd like to change then, Tim?
You could get a better cast, I guess.
Okay. All right. So back to what Lee was saying.
Well, going back to what Tim just said there, I did mention before Tim came back, some of the acting in it is a bit shaky, but Chris Thomson for me stole the show. He was Troughton. He was channeling Troughton, and I'll say it again: Big Finish. Come on, get your act together. Second Doctor adventure box sets. You've done it with Tim Trelaw for the Third Doctor. Do it for the Second Doctor. You've got a guy here who is just Troughton incarnate. So, but yeah, I agree. The production and the sound isn't as good and professional as we're used to, but for what they did, I don't know. This might be the first time they sort of did this sort of thing. Going into it, and they may learn. I mean, how long ago was this? Was this 5 years ago?
This isn't the first one. This is the second one. Yeah,
no, I was saying, but it depends how they recorded it. They could have recorded this first. You know what I mean?
I recorded them one by one.
All right, but yeah, but you learn by mistakes. I mean, if these stories are their first attempt in producing a sort of a proper Doctor Who audio, it's a damn good job. But as I say, it just needs a little tweak here, a little tweak there. But apart from that, I enjoyed it.
Cool. And Jake, your favorite moments?
This production is actually what got Benji Clifford a job at Big Finish. This particular audio drama got him the job at Big Finish. And my favourite moment is when the Dalek Emperor was like, "I do not surrender," and he goes in that massive rant how he's going to destroy them all. Benji Clifford is so good as the Daleks. And I like it now and then they get him into the Big Finish with Nicholas to do some of the Dalek voices. He does some of the background ones. And he is so good. The Daleks and the Doctor are the best thing about this whole thing. Benji and Christopher really sold it as a really good... It made the story come to life. If it wouldn't have had these two things in it, it wouldn't have been that good at the end of the day. And like Lee said, Big Finish really need to have Chris on as the second Doctor. I'm aware that they have spoken numerous times, but they need to get their arse in gear, really, because he got the talent right there. And he doesn't just do Troughton. He can do Jamie as well. So whenever the inevitable comes that way, he could do Jamie too. He's just a powerhouse of talent that I think Big Finish really need to take advantage of.
Yep. All right. Well, I found the Emperor Dalek properly, megalomaniacal, and I thought that it was interesting that Crystal D ended up in this cast because, that's really all she's ever wanted to, or he has ever really wanted to do now. I think she's still going by she and her. Anyway, I think that's all that she ever really wanted to do ever is be in Doctor Who. And this gave her the opportunity to go into it, and she did. And but I enjoyed it because it was a full cast audio adventure, because it was the second Doctor, and because it really did come, the human Daleks, that the fact that the one Dalek that they were repairing was the pure, and then the other ones were like these human Daleks, and they were starting an empire, and then there was like just that sort of Dalek civil war going on, and then these people trying to help. Let me try and get the face back. They were trying to help, and by helping, they were actually like starting this second empire of Daleks, and so that was really interesting and really spooky and scary. And so, yeah, well, why not? More fan stuff. At least it's not like Paramount, which would put the kibosh down on it. Doctor Who is owned by the writers, so whoever writes this and gets this produced gets it produced, and so that's the difference. And in that, it's heartening for me as a fan, because you can actually produce these things and not have them stepped on by the all-powerful corporate entity. Anyway, so yay for Doctor Who. Anyway, thanks for changing your background, Jake, because I like that other page as well. I didn't ever see this booklet that you downloaded with it.
They put so much effort.
That.
They put so much effort into the audios, and they did them. They got Simon Hodges in to do book covers. What if book covers? What if VHS covers? What if like newspaper clippings? Even telly snaps. They even went as far to do what if telly snaps as well for this story. It's such a shame that they stopped with the Salamander story, because I could have seen them doing it for lots of years, because they just got better and better and better.
Yeah, thanks. And so let's get this thing rated. First of all, opening the floor. Is there anything anybody else would like to add into this discussion?
I like the Time War foreshadowing. There's a little bit of Time War foreshadowing when he's like, I'd like to think when my people are at war, I'll make a stand, sort of thing. I like a little bit of sprinkling of foreshadowing in there. We all like a bit of foreshadowing. And I think it worked really well with the story setting.
I did like where the story, because as it used to in the olden days, the end of the story used to flow into the next story coming along.
Yeah. And there was a significant lead in. You're right.
Significant lead into the next story. Is it called Hare House or something? But to me, the atmosphere of it was fun for me. Yeah, I can understand what Tim was saying though.
Oh, he's back. Hello, Tim.
I just think that it was a bit amateurish in a lot of ways.
All right.
One thing I didn't like. There's one thing I didn't like actually. That they didn't get a proper Dalek gun sound effect when they were exterminating.
The Dalek voices were done very well too. Yeah. I'll give it that. But the sound effects basically were using phone sounds.
Yeah.
So it was like really in the background you kept hearing this phone, like back in the dial-up days.
Well, Jake, you said that the Dalek voice, was it Benji who was doing it?
Benji Clifford, because of this audio, now works at Big Finish.
Yeah.
Because they liked it so much. So they're like, do you want to work with us? Now he does the podcast and he does all the editing for some of the stories. And he's really done something for himself, which is such a shame that Chris is not working for Big Finish as a second Doctor impersonator, because he could go really far with Big Finish because he doesn't only do Troughton, like I said earlier. He does all sorts.
Has he talked to them?
Gear.
Has he applied with them?
Yeah, many times. They've spoken to each other.
Well, I'm surprised they don't use him for other audios if he's that good of a voice artist. I mean, he could do other things if they don't want him for that.
He was in the Fourth Doctor comic adaptations.
Oh, was he? Okay, there you go. I think that they're taking baby steps at Big Finish with the recasting and stuff. And since they've been using Fraser Hines all this time, they don't really want to step on his toes, I guess.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because Fraser is like, the godfather of, the second Doctor's stuff and the godfather of many science fiction conventions right now. Go ahead.
Well, my point is I don't think they want to, if they don't feel like they need to change it and hire somebody else, they won't do it. Because, I mean, he's not the only one that does the second Doctor. Also, his son does, too. Is it David Troughton? Also does it for the BBC audios. So I just don't know if they want to recast unless they have to. They've been doing it slowly for the past few years, like the recasting of the Third and his companions now, Brigadier and all that. So
and the Brigadier, Colsaw.
But I just think that that's not something they want to commit to right away, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? All right.
It wasn't horrible. I'm just saying that I thought it was a bit amateurish compared to what we usually listen to.
Okay, what would you give it out of 10?
A 6.
Cool. Kind of low, but we'll go for it. Jake, what's your final say and score, please?
I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I'm going to give it an 8.
That's better. Lee, what's your final say and score?
I enjoyed it. As I said, I wish it was longer because it just seemed to fly by. It could have been 4-parters for me. Some of the acting in it was a bit ropey. Daleks and Chris Thomson, awesome. And as soon as it's my first listening to this type of audio, I'm going to give it an 8 as well.
Yep, I will agree with Jake and Lee. I'll give it an 8. I was fooled by the deep fake of Chris Thomson when he did that one, time space visualizer. It could have. It took my breath away, actually, and this was just fun to continue on down that road towards that. I also thought it could have been longer, but there are more adventures, and they did do a few more, like they said, 8 of them, 7 of them. So yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Jake. There they are. Some of the future ones that we might get to in our exploration of this, and yeah. So with all of that, I'd like to thank you for watching and listening. I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to our channel. We are producing material every week, and do hit the bell to receive notifications of our releases. And this week we're reviewing the Simpsons movie and The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin, and written and starring him. And that's quite a pastiche as well. So yeah, let's rejoin in a couple, in 24 hours, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.